Okay, finally, I got a pair of Galaxy Foamposites sent to me for a review. I guess we can use the real versus fake language, even I don't like to use the fake version because it is an actual shoe in front of me. And all the sneakers, including retail, come from China. So I don't really like to use the word fake. But we do have a gifted pair that was sent to me by Lily. I do love Lily. And they actually took their time with these. I've been asking for them for about a month, and they kept perfecting them. And I guess this is the final product. I do have a retail pair that I got from the sneakers app, thankfully. So let's take a look at the gifted pair in detail first, and I'll go through some of the things that are different. I also did this when I got another pair of foams. I can't remember what the video was, but I did have the retail in there, and I was just kind of going. I think it might have been the coppers. I'm not sure at the moment. I can't remember. But here's the gifted pair. And let me tell you guys, it looks good. It does look good. This is a great alternative if you don't feel like spending. I think they're like $300, maybe $350 for a pair of Galaxy Foamposites from the resale market. And also heard you got to be careful getting them from the resale market because I heard they were going as far as putting like a quote unquote real shoe, like the left shoe in there. And the right shoe could be like a UA or a fake or a rep. I don't have that issue because I didn't get mine from resale, but that's just what I kind of heard what was going on. I haven't seen it, but I heard it. But with this particular pair, there are a few things that I don't know why they keep doing when they make these kind of foams. Number one being the overall glossy finish of the sneaker. I don't know what gloss they're using. I know my guy JB Urban Plus on Instagram, he actually removed, that's me pointing out that flat back tab there. And I'll show that again when I pull out the retail version. But it's very slick. It's a very slick feeling shoe. But JB, he actually removed it with, I don't know what he used specifically, but it took him some time and he removed it. And he got the shoe looking flat. And it was a pair of those like, what are those Ryan Norman Foamposites he had, and they were glossy as well, and he fixed it. So it is possible to remove this finish that they have over them. I don't even know why they put the finish on there because that's not how the retail shoe is made. And as you can tell, it's very glossy. Now, if the shoe was supposed to be glossy like this, everything is fine, but it's not supposed to be like that. It's just very interesting. There are some differences in this tab right here, as far as the lettering. And again, I'm gonna bring the retail shoe out. I'm just kind of going over this. Differences in the toe. And I didn't know that Foamposites had that black toe at the very front like that, because back when they originally released, nothing fancy about the insole. When they originally released, I'd never seen a pair of Foamposites till I got them this year. So they've kind of been like a unicorn shoe. I didn't know they had that black tip at the top of the shoe. It's kind of interesting. They should have just made it all Galaxy print around the toe. Carbon fiber looks great. Everything looks great, I would say, except for the glossy finish. And I don't know, maybe if you have this shoe for maybe 5-6 years, the gloss will kind of go away. I'm not really sure, but that's kind of the main thing that stands out. The back is a little bit more puffier, more bulbous in the back on the UA pairs for some reason as well. That's probably the lowest of my worries with the sneaker. But let's go ahead and pull out the retail pair. This was a quick strike, I guess. I mean, they kind of came and went like they always do. And I'm actually surprised that they're really not that much in the resale market. They're not like $500 or $600. They're still reasonably priced of today's standards. But you can already tell that this pair doesn't have the glossy finish on it. And I think that the overall Galaxy print is a little brighter. I did look at the paper because in Snide SB's video, he kind of points out like the paper could be important. He does show the paper as well. I noticed that it is not as vibrant, and these are very minute details. I mean, the paper really doesn't matter. But if you're buying these and someone's trying to pass over one of these pairs as a real retail pair, this is one thing you might want to look at. It's kind of tough because you got to have two papers next to each other to kind of figure it out, but there is some difference in the paper. But anyway, so let's look at the finish. You can see to the right is the retail. and there is a finish on it, but it's not this shiny, glossy kind of feel. It's very interesting. I just really wonder why they put that on there. Because if they didn't put it on there, these would look a lot closer than they already do. And if you notice, there was no on foot part at the beginning. I'll do that a little later in the video. This is more of a comparison type of video, so I felt it was more important to point out the details. Now here's the back tab area. You can see how it's kind of flat on the left and it's rounded towards the bottom on the right. It's always been like that. I haven't seen them perfect that yet. And you can see from this angle, left is flat, the right is rounded. Here's the retail. We're looking at the back bumpy part, and it's way bumpier on the UA pair for some reason. It's just the mold that they're using. As far as the bottoms go, I'll show what they look like under not reflective light, but when they do glow in the dark, that's 100% identical. Like the glow in the dark part there's no differences. They both glow exactly the same. And I was also told the midsole was one of the biggest things that they had to change up on the shoe several times to get it right. And they definitely got the midsole right. The carbon fiber, there's some differences in the carbon fiber. Let's take a look. Here's the gifted pair, and it looks good. The actual carbon fiber, like the little squares, they do look different. Like here's the retail, they look a little bit more rounded. And on the gifted pair, they were a little bit more square. This is me pointing out like that red nebula part, if that's even a nebula. Here's the gifted pair. And here's the retail pair. Looks a little bit more vibrant. The entire shoe, and I'm thinking they look a little bit more vibrant because there's no gloss. I'm not really sure about that. Looking at the swoosh, I kind of went by that quickly, so tap the screen back a few times and look at the swoosh if you're that interested. I'm just trying to make sure I cover everything. Now I noticed this is a little shorter. It looks like the retail pair actually. Yep, here's the gifted pair. We're looking at the very tip. You see how the one on the right is just the little black tab at the front. There's just more of it. And you can see it's a lot more sleek on the right side and a little bit more shorter looking on the left side. Very small details, just pointing them out. Nike tag stitching doesn't look as crispy. You can see this is the retail, looks very, very clean. And I don't really see much differences in those arrows there. Okay, not the biggest of deals. Mostly on that little Nike part. This is very short on the retail pair, the pull tab in the front, and on the gifted pair, it's very long. It's very long. I'm using my fingers so I remind myself to talk about it, but that's another thing I noticed. I don't know why that's so long. And on foot, they feel exactly the same as the retail pair on foot. There's really no differences. The comfort level is the same. These shoes definitely will mold to your foot. As soon as you put them on, you might be like, oh my God, these are like stiff as hell. But once you walk in them for about 10-15 minutes, they will mold to your feet. I guarantee it. And, as I'm like, older in age now, these shoes for me, they aged well. I heard people were like, oh, they didn't age well. I think they did. Like the pattern is still pretty cool, minus that little black part on the tip of the toe. The shoe looks fantastic to me. Like the design, I still love the Galaxy print. These are still number 2 on my all-time Foamposite list. And that's 75% because I never had them and they were super hyped and always wanted them. People were trading all kinds of crazy stuff for Galaxy Foamposites back when they came out and now. Like everyone was offering up like cars, just the craziest stuff for the shoe, which I think is ridiculous, especially with these options that we have now that you see on my feet. These are actually incredible. It's just, if you have a retail pair, there is some differences, but if you don't have a retail pair and this is all you got, I mean, in my opinion, you're good. You're totally good. And before we get out of here, this is the first unboxing setup that I was doing, and I think this looks awful. This is in my quote-unquote content room, and I recorded this version first before I figured out how to get a better unboxing area with the brown wood backdrop. I think that looks 10 times better than the desk setup. That is real wood too, but let me show you the glow-in-the-dark part of this. This is actually really hard to show, But like I was saying earlier, there's zero differences in this midsole here, or the bottom part, I guess I should say, as far as them glowing in the dark. There's no differences. The gifted pair doesn't glow less than the retail pair. It's 100% the same from my observations. I don't know if anybody else can find something different, but from what I viewed, they look exactly the same. So shout out to Lily for getting me these. That's pretty much the comparison video. Go ahead and thumbs up the video if you want. Follow me on IG at Coloculture, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.